Hey, hey, team. So we are Team Bling. How's everybody doing? So tonight I wanted to focus our team training on the fact that summer is upon us. Although here where I am at in Columbus, it seems like spring is upon us because it is raining, so hopefully my connection stays stable. So I wanted to focus tonight on helping you guys realize that summer is the best time to grow your business. And here's why. If you think about summertime, what comes to mind? Vacations, fishing, camping, traveling, right? Family comes in from out of town. Maybe you have 4th of July get-togethers, cookouts, things like that. And it's the perfect time to grow your business because you're around more people. You know, you tend to be around a lot more people in the summertime because you're more active, you're traveling more, you're doing more. You may not necessarily, travel cross country to go see the Smoky Mountains or something, but we're out and about more. The weather's nice. We're taking kids to water parks. We're taking them to the zoo. There's parades and festivals and things like that. This is the opportune time to really, really focus on your business. Making sure that you always have blitz cards on you, have a product catalog with you at all times, and start figuring out ways to make it a part of your everyday life. So everywhere you go. A perfect example for that is this past weekend. I don't know if you all saw my post, but I was actually in the drive-thru at Starbucks, which I frequent a lot. And I was just in the drive-thru, had just ordered my green tea like I usually get, and I started hearing someone honking at me. And I thought, who in the world is honking at me? So I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and there's this lady behind me, and she's going like this, and she sticks her hand out her window, and she's like, do you have any wraps? And I thought, oh my goodness, who is this crazy lady flashing money at? I mean, hey, it's green. I love green. Green's our favorite color, right? So she walks up to my window and she says, do you have any wraps on you? I'd love to buy one. And I said, yeah, sure. I grab a wrap out for her, give her a blitz card with my information on it, give her a product catalog. She hands me the money, then proceeds to walk up. There's a car in front of me. I still haven't made it up to the window yet. She walks up to the window and says, I want to pay for her drink. So I not only made $25 in wrap cash right there, just doing my normal everyday thing of going to Starbucks and grabbing a green tea. My drink was paid for, and I made a quick $25 in wrap cash. So that's just one way. Now granted, she saw the decal on the back of my car. But if you have a decal, you can get the magnets. The magnets are only $16 a piece. You can get a magnet and you can stick it on the back of your car. It depends on what type of a car you have. Put it on your driver's side door or put it on your passenger side door. Let people know what it is that you do, and talk about it wherever you go. So some things I have been watching I've told you guys in the past that you need to be following some of the top income earners in the company. And one of the people that I love to follow because of her energy and how fast she grew in this company is Jocelyn Yates. Earlier today, she actually posted on her YouTube channel a Zoom that she did with another triple diamond leader. Her name is Jessica Pearson. So you guys might want some pen and paper, or if you want, we are recording, so if you want to go back and watch it later and take notes, I would highly suggest that. If you do have pen and paper available now, I would take notes now, because I took down a ton of notes to share with you guys, because I really think that they hit on some key elements here, and some great tips on how to get your business booming this summer. So the number one thing was to be excited and have fun. Now, what does that mean, to be excited and have fun? That means if you're getting ready to make a post on Facebook, if it's not something that you're smiling, like if you don't find yourself smiling or even like kind of smirking or laughing at when you're getting ready to post it, unless it's a serious post, a family or a life post, then you might want to second guess that, because you want to show that you're fun. You want to show excitement. Do you want to buy something? Do you want to buy into something from someone that is not excited about it? If they treat it like it's just a job and not a way of life, you're not going to buy into it. If you see the excitement, using, we've talked about this before, use your emojis at the beginning of all of your posts. That's going to help to bump up your posts in the top of the newsfeed on your friends list. Capitalize some letters, capitalize some keywords to really pop them out to people so it'll grab their attention. Use images, and just be fun. Show your excitement. Number 2, you want to post personal results. Now, for some of you, I know that you haven't really been able to get a lot of the products. I know that Bethany just received her greens less than a week ago. So she's just learning about how the greens are making her feel and the benefits from those. The rest of you, I know, have some of the other products. Like I know Kayla, I know you've used the wraps in the past. Michelle, I know that you guys have the greens chews, relief. I know you guys have used several products. Angela, same thing. Make sure that you're posting. That was something that I learned on that Zoom with Jessica Pearson was, something she had a month where, and I can't remember. I'd have to go back to that recording and watch it. She had over 100 loyal customers in 1 month. I think it was like 111. And all these notes that I'm giving you guys, all these key points that I'm giving you are all key points she gave on how she was able to grab so many loyal customers. And it didn't matter what time of the year it was. In fact, this was in April. She did this in the month of April. It wasn't even summertime. So, but post your personal results. If you've had results from the wraps, post your results. And one thing she did say was post your results every single day. It doesn't have to be the same results picture, but like before and after picture. It can be on different products. So, for me, I've had those debilitating headaches because we know we can't say the M word. But, post something. Wow, that was a big clap of thunder. Sorry. Okay, so I've had great results with the wraps. I've had great results, and I'm doing it on my chin. I've had great results with the greens, ThermoFit, Fat Fighters. I absolutely love the exfoliating peel, but my new favorite product that I use on the daily now is the toner. Because especially we had our cookout this past Sunday, and I did apply sunblock, but I did not remember to reapply and reapply and reapply. So I was in the sun quite a bit, and I got burnt. Yes. And I love our toner because it helps to take the sting out. It pulls out the heat, and it gives you instant comfort. And I honestly, that is my new favorite thing now. Now I know, not that I'm going to purposely go and not put on sunscreen, but I know if for some reason I'm out there for, in the sun for a long time and I get burnt, I know that I've got some instant relief right here. So this stuff is awesome. Plus, it's good for bug bites too. So this is a great thing that we can, that you guys can all push for this summer because everybody's going to be outside. People get sunburnt all the time. Their kids get bug bites when there's campfires and stuff at night. Mosquitoes are always really bad in the summertime. So, this is a product that I'm really pushing right now because I have personal results with it. I love the way this product works. So, another thing, if you don't have personal results yet from any product, which I know most of you do. So this pertains to the real newbies. If you don't have any personal results, that's okay. You will eventually, because it is very important to become a product of the product. But one thing you can do is you can post before and after pictures of other people's results. And they don't necessarily have to be your upline. They don't have to be your personal customers. If you go to the It Works Facebook page, they have an entire huge file section of before and after pictures. And those are all compliant. So you know that those are safe to use. Number 3, another key point was voice messaging all the time. Stop sending text messages on Facebook. Now this just applies to Facebook. Obviously, if you have people that you're reaching out to that you have their phone number, call them. If they don't answer, leave them a voice message. You can text people. But if you're messaging people on Facebook, stop texting. Just send them voice messages. And again, it goes back to number 1, be excited and have fun. One of the key points that they did post out was that, or that they talked about, was that this is a relationship marketing business. It's not necessarily network marketing. Think of it as relationship marketing, okay? You're building a trust level with every like that you post, every comment, and every message that you send to each person. So when you're liking someone's posts, when you're commenting on them, when you're sending them a message, you are building trust with them. So you don't want the very first message, your cold messaging to them, to be, hey, did you know I just started with It Works Global a couple months ago? Hey, we have a really great special going on right now. Now, I know that we as leaders, we tend to send out messages and let you guys know, hey, here's a great script, like when they announce a BOGO, or, whenever there's a special going on or something and they're really pushing for us to sell a certain product. And those are great messages. I use them too. But it's never the first thing I use when I first message someone. You want to start building that relationship. And one thing they said was, you need to talk to them like you've been best friends with them for 20 years. Because you want to already build that fun relationship. And if they feel comfortable, they're going to start responding more. You're going to build that trust with them. And eventually they're going to come to you about wanting to know what it is that you're doing. And they're going to see your excitement, see your passion about this business and the products, and they're going to want to be a part of that, whether it's as a loyal customer or as a distributor. Okay? When you do message them, when you like or comment or send them a message on Facebook or on Instagram or text messaging, phone calls, whatever the case might be, however you contact them, one thing you want to make sure that you do the very first time that you do reach out to them, and every time you reach out to them, the first thing you need to do, the very first line or the very first sentence that you say, is you need to compliment them. So if you're commenting on a post they're making, compliment them and tell them how adorable their kids are. Tell them what a beautiful picture it is, or something to that effect. When you're messaging them, tell them, hey girl, how are you? I saw your new profile picture. You are just glowing. You know what I mean? Find some way to compliment them. Compliment them on something. Because I don't know about you, but if someone sends me a compliment, that grabs my attention. It's like, oh, well, that was really nice, And then don't go straight from the compliment, though, to plugging the business, okay, or plugging the products. Just start up that conversation. Again, you're building trust and you're building a relationship with them. And that, in the long run, you guys will build that relationship for them to want to either be a part of your team or join as a loyal customer, because they're trusting you. You've built that trust with them, and they know. Another thing, because you are building that trust with them, look, I know we all need volume. Volume is a very big thing. We all have to have a minimum of 400 in PBV. Well, what you need to focus on is, don't necessarily worry about the upsell, okay? And one of the things that they talked about as to why you don't want to focus on upselling them is because, number one, when someone is interested in a product and they say, okay, well, what else do I need? If they're wanting to tighten, tone, and firm, you're telling them about the wraps, they're interested in the wraps. Tell them, let's just get you started with that. Okay. Granted, the volume is awesome because you hear all the time from leaders and stuff that, push the system, because there's a lot of volume in that. And I agree 110%. But I don't want to force the people into purchasing items that they're not maybe quite ready for. I also don't want them to feel like they're just a sale to me. You want to make them feel like you really are there, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help other people. And if they feel like you're taking advantage of them and you're just here to take their money, they're not going to continue to be a loyal customer. They're not going to want to sign with you. If you're completely honest with them, that's going to help build that trust even more. Remember, because you're selling yourself. You are not selling the products. You are selling yourself. If you're excited, if you're having fun, and if you're honest in building that relationship with them, they are going to purchase from you or join your team because they see how much fun you are. Okay? Another thing, Facebook live videos, if you guys haven't noticed, that's the new thing. And one thing I learned on that Zoom too was that because the Facebook live videos are like Facebook's new thing, and they're really pushing for that, whenever you do a Facebook live video, it gets bumped up because that's their newest feature, okay? So it doesn't matter if you have your hair and makeup done. It doesn't matter if you're all dressed up or not. And it doesn't always have to be about the company or the products. Post a Facebook live video if it's, just gorgeous outside. Just hop on there for a quick like minute or 3 minute video, and just tell people, hey, it's a beautiful day outside. What are you guys all doing today? This is what me and the kids are doing, and turn the camera around and let them see what you're doing. If you, like I saw some people did, like we just did some more landscaping in our front and our backyard the last few weeks. Do some Facebook live videos of that and show them like, oh my goodness, like we're so excited. If you guys could have seen what it looked like before, because that's also number one, you're building relationship again with your audience. It's not just about it works in the products. Okay. One thing that Jessica Pearson mentioned too was that in her most successful months for signing up loyal customers, what she did was she posted before and after pictures, whether they were hers or others, compliant approved from corporate. She was posting before and after pictures every single hour. Now, I know that that is not physically possible for all of us to do that every single day. But with that, I've mentioned to you before, there is apps like Buffer, Every Post, and I think there's a couple of other ones where you can literally sit down, and I spend about 30 minutes every few days, and I will plan out my posts. It'll let you type out what you're going to do, attach a picture to it, and then with Every Post, it'll allow you to post Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, all of that stuff all at once. And you can literally pick what time of the day or night you wanted to post and what day. You can literally, if you wanted to, you could sit down one night a week, spend an hour, and you could have a whole week planned out of all your posts. So even if you go Facebook like dark, people aren't going to know that because you've got it set up in your app on your phone. So you're still going to have posts there. So she said you could pick out like a time frame. So if you want to post, if you want to set it up through one of those automatic post apps like Every Post or Buffer, I know that Ant uses Buffer. I use Every Post. You can set up a time from like say 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and you have that app set up to post something every hour on the hour. She said now there's, then she started to realize that there's people on the East Coast and the West Coast. So those hours weren't exactly great for certain people. So she would also have a few other before and after posts that she would post maybe up until midnight and sometimes as early as, 4 or 5 a.m. And out of 10 posts, she suggested that 7 out of 10 are before and after pictures. And at least make one of those if you have before and after personal results for yourself, whether it's pictures or just a personal testimony of a before and after. Like for me, before I started taking the greens, I got these debilitating migraines. After I started taking them, and ever since, I've never had one. So that would be like my personal testimony or my before and after that I would include in out of those 7 out of 10. Okay, so that would be one. And then the other 6 would be like corporate approved before and afters. Or if you have other personal, results. Like I could post the one from my chin wrap, that would be 2. And then the other 3 out of those 10, you're going to make life posts. Now, I know that we've talked in the past how about you want to post 6 times a day and you want 3 to 4 of those to be life posts, about your family, fun, your friends, what you're doing, taking pictures of your food, things like that. And then the other 2 are about the products or the business. But in this instance, I'm just letting you guys know because obviously what may work for one person may not work for you. So this is just another take on that same concept. It's just 10 posts a day. And instead of the bulk of it being about yourself, you're going to make the bulk of it, 70% of it, be before and afters. The other 30% are going to be about you personally and not your results. This will be life posts. So, scripture, inspirational posts, pictures of your kids, what you're doing today, pictures of what you're eating, if you're going to the gym, things like that. When you do your posts, again, make sure that you're really, really excited. Show your excitement there, okay? Another really good key point that I just loved was that, something I kind of took from that thing was, okay, I'm going to come up with something that I can do that I haven't done before. So I don't know how well it's going to work, but it's worth a try, right? We don't know until we try. Something that I saw from a different Zoom was there was people that were posting video demos of different products, whether it be just a short 3-minute Facebook Live video or even a recorded video that of you showing how the wrap works, how to take it out, how to put it on, what it does. Because a lot of people don't know, and if we're not local to that person, it's kind of hard for us to show them in person how it works. And it doesn't look as personal either if we send them just a random YouTube video of another distributor, because what is that going to do? Well, this person knows what they're doing, but I didn't have a personal video to show them how the wrap works. So me personally, if that were me and a distributor sent me some other distributor's video, well, the person I reached out to really doesn't have one. You know what I mean? So it's going to kind of attract me to the other person. So you want to keep that business, all that work that you're doing, building those relationships and messaging those people. You want to keep all that to yourself. And the way to do that is, like I said, something I'm going to try and something you guys can try as well, is to make a video demo twice a week. Whether you record it on your phone and then you upload that same video once or twice a week, or if you do one that's recorded and maybe do a Facebook Live video the other time for the week. And just like do a demo of the fat fighters. That one's super easy, guys. All you need is water, a clear glass, water, some vegetable oil, and a crushed up fat fighter. And it does the work for you, And then you just use the product information from the product sheet for the fat fighters to talk about while it's happening. It's that simple. You can do a demo of the wrap. You can wrap your stomach. You can wrap your neck. You can show people how to wrap arms. Get someone to come over and, offer a free wrap to someone if they'll let you wrap them on a video. So you can have that as a demonstration video to help build your business. And you'll get people that'll jump at that. And be creative. I know I can tend to be a goofball, and if I plan things, they go okay. But if I try to do something on the fly, it tends to turn out better. So I don't know if you guys paid attention, if you were watching the Facebook Live video. I think it was not last week, but the week before. I don't know what it was. The previous live parties, I had wrapped someone or wrapped myself. One week I did a facial in the gym bathroom and then went out to the treadmill with the facial on. And I got lots of attention, and that video got a ton of views. It was like over 300 views. And that really started bringing people to my inbox and messaging me like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. It just kind of struck up a conversation, and we're building that relationship. Another thing I did 2 weeks ago was I don't even know why. I don't even know how. I just found the stethoscope and decided to do like a mad scientist type of a thing when I did the fat fighter demonstration. And that video was it was hilarious, and people loved it. It really, really grabbed people's attention because it wasn't boring, and you don't have to go to that certain extreme or anything, but sometimes if you just learn how to get out of your comfort zone and people see that you're not so cut and dry, they're going to respond to that more than if you were just cut and dry, copy and paste another distributor's posts. That was another thing that they did talk about as well was, when you copy and paste another distributor's post, there's nothing wrong with that, except if you're not changing it. You need to change up the wording on it at least a little bit, because if not, what we found out was that Facebook will see that. You won't know it, but once they've seen that same exact post posted several times, then that post won't even be visible, and you won't know whose is visible and whose isn't. So make sure if you're copying and pasting, like I tell you guys all the time, feel free to go to my page, Angela's page, Liz's page, John, any of the top income earners. You go to their pages, find some Facebook posts or some Instagram posts that are really, really good that you see are getting a lot of likes or comments, or that you're like, that's a really good post. I'm going to use that. Go ahead and use it. But you need to change up some of the wording on it. Add some different, little emoticons, or switch it around a little bit. You know what I mean? Just to try to make it your own so that Facebook doesn't block that. Because if you're the one that originally posts it, even if it's pretty much the same as someone else's, but you're changing it up a little bit, if someone goes and copy and pastes yours will still be seen, but theirs may not be. So you want to make sure that your stuff is being seen. And, okay, let's see. Oh, and and then another thing, back to being creative, and you want to make sure that you're standing out. So you don't want to just do business posts. You don't want to just do product posts, because you want your Facebook page to stand out. Unfortunately, for us now, business pages are not that successful. And the reason they explained that on the Zoom as well was because now the amount of people that you're able to reach on a business page without paying for it is very, very minimal compared to what it used to be. Now they're really pushing for business pages to have to pay for the amount of people that your posts are reaching. And we obviously don't want to do that. We don't want to have to pay for that. So in our personal pages, we use them as our business pages, but they cannot be all business. So you still do have to put in those personal posts in there. If it were up to me, I would totally love to make my page nothing but my business, but that's not going to grab people's attention, and it's not going to, people are just going to look at that as me being a robot. So you need to kind of, like I said, we've been doing the 6, where it's the 4 personal and the 2 product or company posts. I'm going to change mine up a little bit, and I'm going to use Jessica Pearson's advice, and I'm going to try the 7 out of 10. So 7 out of 10 are going to be business or product posts. And I'm going to make most of them, I'm going to say maybe 1 about the business. The other 6 out of those 7 are going to be before and afters. And then the other 3, obviously, out of those 10 are your life posts again. So, but did you know that when you are on, like, if you were to go through your Facebook friends list, go to each one of their pages. You may not know every single, because I think we have close to 250,000 distributors right now. You're not going to know every single distributor that is on each of your friends' page. I guarantee you are not the only It Works distributor on those people's pages. Okay? So they're going to have several other It Works distributors. Some people might have, 2 or 3 other ones. Other people might have 10 distributors on their friends list. You're not going to know that. But you want to be that one distributor that sticks out on their friends list. And the way you're going to do that is you're not going to copy and paste and make it cook, cut and dry. You've got to make your stuff stand out. Another thing I wanted to go over with you guys really quickly tonight too was, okay, like we have an online party happening in about 30 minutes. And one of the things that you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're messaging people and you're inviting them to these online parties. But send them a voice message. Use that voice application in your messenger, and let them hear the excitement, like, hey girl, how are you? Listen, we're having an online Facebook party tonight. No pressure, just going to give the opportunity to introduce some of our awesome products and give you the chance to ask any questions you may have about the products or the business. And if you stick around until the end, you have a chance at winning a couple free It Works products, because we'll be having some giveaways. So people love to hear that excitement. And you always want to make sure every opportunity that you have to invite people to online parties. It doesn't necessarily have to be an online party that we're having. Like tonight's online party was based off of the fact that we needed to have an online party for Bethany. She has a lot of out-of-town people that are interested. So, and you know what? We use that to reach out to the rest of the team and say, hey, we're having an online party. Invite your potentials. But it doesn't have to just be people on our team. Reach out to your sidelines. Ask them if they're having any online parties this week, any Facebook Live parties or whatever, and always be inviting, because, that's one thing that I've heard a million times over, and you guys will hear it a million times over too, until the day we die. You don't have to be a salesperson. You just have to be a master inviter. You have to invite people. If you don't invite people to these happenings, the Facebook Live parties, which are so much fun, and I would love to see some of you step up and volunteer to start helping out with some of those, because they are a lot of fun, and I tend to get quite a bit of response from that, even if it's just starting a relationship with someone that I haven't even gotten to on my hundreds list yet, and they're like, oh my gosh, so because that party was public, they're able to see the things that I'm doing in that party. They're like, oh my gosh, that video that you made was hilarious. And that starts a relationship. So I start to build that trust with them and start to, like I said, Jessica Pearson talked about, was talk to these people like you've been best friends with them for 20 years. Don't talk to them like, hi, how are you? My name is Becky. You don't want to be a robot. You want to start building a relationship and make it seem fun and just really use your personality to your advantage. You guys all already have stepped out of your comfort zone by saying yes to this business. So utilize that. This, like I said before in the beginning, the summertime is the most absolute perfect time for you to build your business, because people are traveling. You're going places more often because kids are out of school, so we're having to keep our kids busy. Gives you plenty of opportunity to meet other moms, other families, see what other people are doing. If you're traveling and you go on vacation, you better have a stack of Blitz cards and business cards, product catalogs. Leave them puppies everywhere you go. Leave a trail. I know that when Liz travels, that's what she does. I know that wherever I go, especially if I, have to use the bathroom or whatever, I'll put one of my business cards or Blitz cards right there in the mirror at the sink. If there's a bulletin board, leave them on the bulletin board. Every time I go into Starbucks to have a coffee date, I leave a business or a Blitz card on every single table. So I don't care who sits down. And I love doing that on Saturdays, because Saturday mornings there's always a huge line at Starbucks, and so I always make sure to go in and not drive through on Saturdays, because there's always a long line. So people are waiting to take those tables. So I always make sure on my way up to the line, I put a Blitz card on every single table so that they see it. Sometimes one of the Starbucks that I go to a lot, they let me keep a stack of business cards there where like the straws and the napkins and the condiments and stuff are. So I keep a stack there, and when I see that they get low, I just replenish them. And going back to the parties, I wanted to call on Angela, because I know that some of you have mentioned to me in the past and here recently that sometimes you're not getting responses to party invites. So, I like to create the party about at least a couple of days ahead of time. And there's a reason for that. But, Angela had a couple of great tips her and I were talking about earlier. So, Angela, if you wouldn't mind sharing a couple of tips on inviting people and when you're inviting them and how you're inviting them.
All right, when I'm inviting people, I personally invite them for sure. I don't just send out a mass message on Facebook, and I don't just post on my Facebook. I actually, today, for instance, there was a few people, I just added a whole bunch of people to my hundreds list. So I've been trying, like Becky said earlier, I've been trying to contact and personal message them and be like, hey, how's your kids going? I mean, these are people like I babysat their little kids when they were little. So I'm like, oh my gosh, your kids are huge and things like that. And I kind of sent out those personal messages first. And then today, I just said, hey, I've started with It Works, and I'm a distributor with them, and I thought of you, and this is what we have going on. And the personal message that I basically sent out was, we're having an online party tonight. It's really simple. Just log into your Facebook and you can follow along. And that's it. It was a personal message. I made sure that I included their name in the top and kind of said a little brief thing about how's your summer going, or I could see these people on Facebook, so they're friends of mine. So they went camping last weekend, so I'm just like, oh, it looks like you had a great time camping and things like that. And then I kind of just say, hey, we're having a Facebook party tonight, would you like an invite? Let me know. And then that's how if they say yeah, or if they don't message back, then I just kind of leave it at that. And then the next party that comes up, I'll message them again.
Awesome. And yeah, I love that you're mentioning too, that you're making sure to say their name. So it's not just like, hey girl, or hey girly, or whatever. Always making it personal by mentioning their name. Because that right away they know that that's not a mass message, and also, when do you like to send out your invites?
Oh, yes, I like to send out my invites the day of the party. I found that if I send them out too early, people would tend to forget, And then you have to, can remind them, and sometimes they don't see that. So I like to send it out the day of. So like this morning, Becky had all that set up for us. So I sent those messages out this morning, and then kind of just throughout the day, the people responded, because some people might have gotten them before work and responded, and some people might have gotten them after work and responded. So the day of seems to work really well for me.
Awesome. That's a great tip because I tend to find the same thing. When I set up a party, even if it's just 2 days prior, and start sending out invites, people might say yes, and I might get a great response to people saying, yeah, I'd love to hop on. But then the day of the party, or when the party comes around, if I haven't sent them that reminder, then again, like you had mentioned, they tend to forget. So then they're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. And, that's okay. But in the same sense, it's up to us to make sure that we're staying in contact with our personally invited people. So I love that you're messaging them the day of. So do you have a preference of when you're sending that? Do you try to do it in the morning, late afternoon?
No, today I did mine in the morning. I do have some stay-at-home moms. I do have some teachers on there that are at home now because of the summer. And then I do have people that work throughout the day too. So I think if I send it in the morning, either they will read it sometime throughout the day, or catch it sometime. And I think just if they see it today, they know it's at the end of today that and a lot of messages, I mean, some of them I get, and they say, well, that's bedtime or whatever. I said, it's super easy and quiet. You can do it at home. You just log on to your Facebook, and it's pretty simple. I think some people, if they've never done it before, I don't think realize how simple it really is and how quiet it can be, because they're like, oh, that's bedtime for my little ones or whatever. And the one message I sent today, because I knew she has twins and she has another one that's a little bit older, and I just said, and I've sent her messages before, and she goes, keep sending me these. At some point, I'm going to get on there. And the one I sent her today, she's just like, okay, that is bedtime. I'll try super hard. And I'm just like, seriously, it's super easy. Just log into your Facebook and keep refreshing. It's nothing that you have to constantly be at. So hopefully she'll be on tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, I love those tips. That's great because, I love that you're paying attention to the people that you're wanting to invite to these parties and what their lifestyle is and what their schedule is, because Facebook tells all, that basically tells everyone, we know, are they stay-at-home mom? Do they work during the day? So it kind of gives you an idea. And if you really pay attention to those, and you can kind of make note on your hundreds list next to their names, when is a good time? If you've been messaging someone, let's say at 7:30 in the morning, and they're not responding until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you need to make note of that, because then that means they're not going to see your messages until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the same goes for if it's in the middle of the night. What if you send them a message, but they're not getting back to you until 1 o'clock in the morning? They just might be either a night out, or they might work second shift. And that might be once they've gotten home and they've gotten a shower, got something to eat, and they've actually been able to sit down for the first time today. So I'm not saying stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning, but by paying attention to that, number one, the time of the day or night that they're going to be able to respond to you. So you're going to know, okay, if you sent them a message at 10 o'clock that night, but they don't get back to you until the following night at 1 in the morning, you're going to know when the best time is. You can kind of schedule out when the best time is to get the message to them or send them a message. Also, it helps you to see too, those people, when a good time is to make a post. So if there's someone who's asked questions or been on an online party and they've showed interest in the defining gel, or maybe the Fat Fighters or ThermoFit or the Estro Rhythm, whatever the case might be, or even about the business, make a note next to their name on your hundreds list and make a post. Use one of those apps if it's not during an opportune time for you that you're not awake, or it's just you're going to be busy during that time of the day. Specifically, find a group of people that are awake or see things at that time of the day or night, and make a post regarding the products or the business, because that's something they've shown interest in the past, and that that's a high traffic time for them on Facebook. So that's another good tip that I've learned along the way too that's really, really helped. So does anybody have any questions before we do our devotional really quick and end it out and get started on the party? Anyone have questions? Nope. Okay, good. All right, so this is my devotional that I just absolutely love. It's called Growing in Grace. This is one of my favorites. I tend to hop around a little bit between a few of them, but this is like my go-to. I always fall back to this one for some reason. But all right, so today, the devotional that I read today, I wanted to share with you guys, and I haven't even posted it on my Facebook yet because I wanted to wait until I got to share it with you guys on the Zoom tonight. So I was saving this special for you guys. All right, so I, therefore, the prisoner in the Lord, urge you to walk worthy of the calling you have received. That's Ephesians 4:1. It's terribly important that you heed God's calling by discovering and developing your talents and your spiritual gifts. If you seek to make a difference, and if you seek to bear eternal fruit, you must discover your gifts and begin using them for the glory of God. Every believer has at least one gift. In John 15:16, Jesus says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you." Have you found your special calling? If not, keep searching and keep praying until you find it. God has important work for you to do, and the time to begin that work is now. If God's word, your circumstances, and the counsel of others line up, and if you sense his provision, go for it. From the very moment one feels called to act is born the strength to bear whatever horror one will feel or see. In some inexplicable way, terror loses its overwhelming power when it becomes a task that must be faced. So, that just tells you right there, that's just reaffirmation, affirmation for me. God gave each and every one of you a gift, okay? You have a calling. God put this business opportunity in your lap for a reason, because you have a different gift than everyone else. Your gift may be the gift of gab, okay? You might be the person that loves to go out and talk. I love to go out and talk to people. I love to have coffee dates with people. It's a great excuse to go to Starbucks and treat someone to a Starbucks. Last week I had a meet and greet, and the Starbucks, the power was out. We went to the next Starbucks. The power was out there. So then we ended up at Krispy Kreme. Oh, darn, because we got free hot, fresh donuts. But I didn't let those little things get in my way, because I know that the thing that I do best is when I'm with people. When I get that chance to talk with someone one-on-one, they get to see my excitement. They can hear the inflection in my voice. They can ask me questions, and they know that on the spot, right there, but then and there, I have the answer. And if I don't, they know I am on my phone and I will find that answer for them. And you have to be willing to do that. Maybe your gift is, just posting on Facebook. I can say one thing is that I've noticed about Bethany is that, Bethany, you have a real honestly, swear to God, you have a really awesome gift for wording things. The posts that you have done, those were not hand given to her. I did not give her those things to post. If you go to her page and you see the posts that she's made about products and about the business, these are things she's come up with on her own. And she has a way with words that, even though I'm a distributor and I'm the one that signed her, it's caught my attention. So I know, even though she may not get a lot of likes or comments on those, I know people are watching, because that's something that's caught my attention. Another thing that's caught my attention too is, Tessie, I know, has kind of been a little bit laid back in the business for a while. She has honestly really found her niche lately. And she is posting, and it's grabbing people's attention. I can see her excitement. I'm seeing posts of her pictures, and she's smiling all the time. I'm loving it. And people are really starting to take notice of that, leaders and other people that are going to be potential customers and distributors. So I'm super proud of you guys for really, really just getting out there and making this your own, because this is not my business. I've got my own business to run. You guys have your own business and you have to make it your own. Nothing can be handed to you. Do you want me to hand you all of your customers and all your distributors? Sure, you probably do, because then it makes your job easier. But what gratification is that going to give you if you're not earning that yourself? It's kind of like what I've always said, with my kids. I'm not paying for your college. I'm not buying you a car. Because if I give you that college education and if I give you a car, you're not going to take care of it. You're not going to respect it. But if you're having to work your own butt off and you're grabbing your own loyal customers and you're grabbing your own distributors and building your own team, you're going to appreciate that more and you're going to work harder to keep it there and to keep building that. Does that make sense? So every one of you needs to sit down and figure out what is it that you've noticed, whether you're new or whether you've been in the business for several months. What is the one thing that you've noticed that people have really been drawn to? Is it your posts about your personal stuff? Is it posts about the business? Is it posts about the products? Do they tend to respond better to messages? Maybe people have fallen off from responding to the messages you're sending off. Maybe we need to look at that. Reach out to me, reach out to Liz, and let's look at the conversations you're having. Maybe it's just the verbiage that you're using. And maybe we just need to change it up a little bit. Maybe you're coming off not strong enough. Maybe you're coming off too strong and scaring people away. But there's never anything wrong, or ask each other. There's nothing that says, Michelle, you can't reach out to Angela and say, hey, what do you think about this? I'm not getting any response from this. How would, do you see anything wrong with this message I've been sending out? Because I haven't been getting any response. Utilize each other. Let's utilize each other as a team and utilize your sidelines. Don't be afraid to reach out to someone because two heads are always better than one. And what might not be working for you, maybe whatever script Michelle's using that may not be working for her might actually work for Angela or Kayla or Tessie or Bethany. Maybe something I'm using isn't working for me, but it might work for you guys. But that's also why I try to post some script ideas for you guys, because it could also be something that is working for me and saying, hey, this one's really been catching people's attention. Try to use this, but just, change up the wording a little bit to make it your own and see if that helps. So if you come up with a script and you're sending that out, whether it's a post on Facebook or whether it's a message in Messenger, share that. If you're getting success, if you're having response from that, share that in the Team Bling thread, so that we can share that with everyone else. Because the more we're willing to share and bounce ideas off each other, the more we're going to grow as a team and really make an impact in this business. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Well, I thank you so much for hopping on our team Zoom. For anyone that is watching this recording, make sure that you took notes. And if you guys didn't take notes tonight, there will be the recording. Hopefully, I will get it up tonight. If not, it will be tomorrow. So make sure that you take notes. If any of your personally enrolled were not able to make it on tonight, make sure that you let them know there will be a recording. And then when I post it, you can personally send that to them. All right, the party starts in about 8 minutes or so. So if you haven't already, touch base with your people that you've invited. Try to get some last-minute attendees for this party, guys, okay? All right. Everyone have a good week.